Hey everybody, clearing. Okay, Sunday cosmic reading coming at ya. First off, I got a new bouncy ball. My little spirit animal of independence hooked my last one with a claw, and I put a bouncy ball on my wish list. Somebody snapped that up right away. Thank you so much. Yay! Okay, so I'm dressed in the all-seeing eye right now because we're going cosmic with this reading. We are going to look at the paradigms that the divine masculines are currently working on between the 3D and the 5D and above. So let's start with a little bit of that. So I want to look at 3 of the paradigms that your divine masculine, or that you, if you're a divine masculine watching, are working on shifting from a 3D perspective, pardon me, to a more cosmic understanding, a more love-filled understanding, unconditionally loving, less attached. Which 3D paradigms are the divine masculines overcoming because this love is inspiring them to greater heights, the higher love? So what is it? Thank you, divine creator, for bringing through only the highest, most beneficial information. What are the paradigms the divine masculines are working on in the collective, shifting into a higher version of itself? Okay, we got some falling through the table. We got 3. Okay, so the first one is know your worth. Yes, and this came in the reverse. So that's the big divine feminine message, is to know your worth. With it in the inverse, this is their own internal feminine, their own intuition. And by proxy, that is you, divine feminine. This directly correlates to your part of the journey and why the divine masculines don't come forward, why the divine masculines seem aloof, why the connection drops off if you're in low vibration or worthiness issues, the runner chaser thing. This is all talking about that paradigm. So in the highest, I just want to say before we go into the other ones, this is autonomy for each person in the connection. It is not up to the other person to be this for someone else, to prove that they are worthy, for instance. This is something that each sovereign being has to come to authentically with connection to source, with their own knowing, in order for a connection to really stand the test of time. It can't be an asking the other person for validity. So the divine masculines are shifting that. Let's see how this dance with the feminine. Divine masculines knowing their worth, but also the divine feminines coming into their knowing of worth. How is this playing out in the 3D for the masculines at this time? How is it showing up for the masculines at this time? We are getting time, discipline. So I've often said this is the cross the masculines have to bear, is the knowing of not coming forward, waiting on this divine timing. And so for whatever reason, their minds are playing tricks on them. This looks like a brain. And I'm really getting that they're thinking of it, the timing, the intuition, they're thinking of it from all different points of view and trying to rationalize, overthinking possibly right now about what's right and wrong, about the benefit of certain things. They may not be seeing it from a cosmic point of view, but let's have a look at the advice. So there are these higher keys. There's a bunch of keys hanging up here. There are some keys dotted in between this ticking time, all these clocks here. I'm also being drawn to the root here. It is grounding. With time, it is allowing for things to sink in. And then we have this larger clock up here, which is the divine timing. So yeah, divine masculines are really seeing so many angles to the timing of this connection. And it is kind of bringing a deeper understanding of worth in themselves, and they're seeing you grow in your worth, divine feminine. So advice for the masculines in this energy that are watching: Orion, Stargate, power, authority, influence, and ambition. Exactly. If people don't know their worth, they don't have the confidence to follow the soul stuff missions and to really get out there and be themselves authentically, and therefore that energetic trustworthiness when the influence is brought into the world that speaks volumes for itself. So yes, this is about stepping into leadership. The divine counterparts need to know their worth in order to step into mission, purpose, leadership on this level. So divine masculines, that is producing a mission readiness in you and also a mission readiness in your divine counterpart. Okay, what other energies are we seeing? Overcome any obstacle. It's rhinoceros energy. So yeah, divine masculines, this is talking about any of the things that you've had as a logistic challenge, distance, other people involved. That can be romantic partners, but that's also moms and dads and friends and peer groups and business partners and everybody that might have a thing or two to say about this unusual love. These are the obstacles that you are tasked with, because this is a love greater than all of those. And divine masculines, you're knowing. I'm being drawn to the spiral, the channeling on the third eye here of the rhinoceros. This is talking about bringing in the higher wisdom, anchoring down the reasons, the spiritual reasons why a love like this is more valuable to go towards than to reject, even in the face of dominant people in your lives, divine masculines, or logistics like distance. Let's see what we can about how this overcome any obstacles is playing out in the divine masculines' lives right now. Okay, we get three kind of ones. Snow, silence. So this can be a little bit of a silence. I'm really getting for this one, there's a deep going within and asking. The divine masculines are asking, is this other person's say in my life as important as what my heart knows? And that is the only noble cause to go towards a love like this, when somebody comes into the mastery that it truly is their heart above other people's opinions, because it's their life alone, their shoes to walk in. So this is a real individuation. I'm really heavy getting mama issues here, and divine masculines coming out of the tail end of that mother influence. We saw the eclipses this year heavily clearing mother influence in a way that was holding back the divine masculines, and so some of the imprinting from mama is playing out here, I'm feeling. So whether that's directly what a mother would say about this connection, or it would pull you away, divine masculines, from geographically where your mom is, something like that, or the mother's views on relationship, or the hold that mother has over you, divine masculines. This is showing that it's time to go to a love like this. Your heart won't put it down. Your heart is maturing and going from the nest to a partner. That is a rite of passage that must occur in order for you to be all in a love like this. You have to choose the divine feminine above the fear-based things of the mother. So yeah, that's a really interesting one that I'm getting there. What else can we see? Light and sun. So this is the sun coming in, the enlightenment. You are seeing through this silence, through the darkness right now, you're seeing the truths of the connection, the spiritual connection, the knowing that this connection is like no other. And then here's the companionship and animals card again. Wow, that's really sweet. So you're seeing the unconditional love of animals is what I'm getting right now, divine masculines. And that's helping you to overcome what people think or what you fear people would think. I'm just seeing that the bond that you're noticing that animals have is a powerful demonstration of what is possible, because they hold no judgment. And they love no matter who takes care of them. No matter where the nurture comes from authentically, that's the loyalty of the animals, is what I'm getting. And that's impressing upon the divine masculines that these love connections aren't impossible. Very interesting. So how can we advise the divine masculines about these proofs of unconditional love and sovereignty playing out? Divine masculines, intention, mental breakthroughs and ideas. Yeah, so allow the epiphanies that you're getting right now about love, about unconditional love from the animal world, about your own intentions for love. You deserve love, divine masculines, and wherever that love comes from authentically, that truly is the spice of life, the gold in the universe. That is happiness. That is true connection. And so yes, this is the breakthrough that no earthly paradigm, no earthly fear has power over true nurture, true unconditional love, that it runs through nature, that it triumphs over everything. And you're seeing that, divine masculines. It's adorable. Oh, and then we get dog. I didn't see this. Be loyal to what you love. Oh gosh, all those messages about animals. So divine masculines, this is so precious. Like, wow. Oh, I didn't see that, talking about the loyalty of animals and seeing that play out. I'm getting misty. Oh, it's so sweet. It's like, why can't I just be like the undying love of a dog, is what I'm hearing for divine masculines. Like, why can't I just like run to my divine feminine all totally happy and carefree? That's so sweet. So they're asking what's holding them back. Why, if there is so much nurture, so much pull towards you, divine feminine, the divine masculines are asking, why can't I just be free to go towards? So let's see how this is pulling on the divine masculines in two directions, I'm getting, because this is a deep internal knowing that they are inspired with this love towards you, divine feminine, but the divine masculines are noticing that they are not free to just run up all puppy-like towards you, puppy love. I just heard once bitten, twice shy. So they are starting to see that it's not the things that they have attributed it to, that it's not the fears that other people wouldn't approve. It's literally that they've been hurt. So there's a deeper layer, divine masculines, coming to the surface. It's not about the circumstances. It's not about what mom would say. It's not about what friends would say. It's not about any of that. It's because you know this love is so real, divine masculines, and that is truly what's cloaked underneath all of the surface level considerations. There is a deeper core that you are guarding your heart here, this intimate protection and not wanting to be hurt. Because a love like this is so good. It's not too good to be true, but there is a deep, deep knowing that when you go towards the real thing, it has to be sure. And so, yes, I feel that in this divine masculines, that you do love your divine feminine, but love really puts us through the ringer because we can stand to be hurt so badly. And it can look like a lot of excuses and circumstantial things, but how is this playing out in the lives of the divine masculines right now? Voice, speaking your word. Okay, wow. So yeah, this is about being so honest with yourself on this cosmic level, on this incredible depth. And you know, this, I'm hearing that this is like the birds singing at dawn. This is speaking your words, singing your heart song, but being very honest that it is this connection with your counterpart here that is what you would go towards if the surface level things weren't there. So this is you understanding the being sure on your heart space at the deepest levels. This is playing out for divine masculines by being more authentic around friends and family and understanding that these influences actually do back you when you speak from that place of soul confidence. There is nothing that the people around you would not affirm and support you in. It's your conviction on your truth that is charismatic around you, divine masculine. So basically anything goes. You divine masculines, oh, I'm being asked to give you a little homework. So for divine masculines wondering if this stuff that you're all up in your head about with your connection is valid or not, put yourselves into the role of a movie actor, a movie script, and flip it. Flip the script so that you proclaim the truth of this love with your divine feminine to all the characters in your mind confidently. And ask yourself, if that was played out in a movie that you were watching and the lead character advocated for a love like this in the most resounding, masterful, triumphant ways, what would the reaction of all these players in that character's lives or life be? What would the most affirming response be from each of those characters? Use this as an objective opportunity to at least see what a noble higher version would look like if this lead character proclaimed the love for their divine counterpart to all of the people, places, and things and went for it. What would that hero's journey be like? What would it be like if you wrote that and gave that fairy tale to humanity? Divine masculines, that's going to give you some energetic backing and validity that you haven't had so much yet. This is the grand fairy tale I'm hearing. You are tasked with bringing these actual love connections to the world as new examples, divine masculines, along with your divine feminine, yes. But this is how you can write that grand love story. Your counterpart is co-writing this incredible divine love story on the planet right now. And you're being asked to look at the value of it, the absolute gift it is to humanity to bridge so many perceived obstacles and to really trust the heart above all else and to see the ways that it does bring in the resilience and the affirmation that love exists instead of all the reasons why it might not work. You love this counterpart, divine masculines, or you would not be watching this. And you divine feminines watching, obviously you have the capacity for an unparalleled love, or you wouldn't be watching this either. So keep going, everybody. This is so beautiful. What is the advice for the divine masculines? Temple of suspended endings, standstill, suspended animation, and holding space. Yeah, so divine masculines, you're not going to be given more than you can handle. You are a timekeeper, a regulator of the flow of this, and until you come to peace with why your divine counterpart is caused to be celebrated, not feared, it's going to be on a standstill. So these connections aren't going to happen against your will. You have to come on board at the different levels of awareness in order to have more experiences and collaborated, time in the physical, more progress in the communication. You have to be on board. This doesn't happen against your will. I'm going to say that again. Your divine feminine is not going to be hounding you and being a drama queen and throwing themselves and chasing you. Your feminine is too wise, too mature, and such a gift to you. And so breathe deeply, divine masculines. It's only going to move forward if you are mutually on board. And divine feminines, the standstill is so that your divine masculine can come to their reasons as well. So be practical, you divine feminines. I'm going to pull a card now for the divine feminines. What can we see here? Temple of Amethystia, tranquility, patience, disillusion. So yeah, divine masculines are really working on shedding worldly fears right now, busting through paradigms, seeing that it is up to them. So just allow it to play out. Have peace, patience, let it dissolve. This is their task. The things that they feel have been deal breakers, that they thought were the reasons this wasn't appropriate in the 3D, let them come to it on their own, that a love like this is not to conform to the 3D. It's to be celebrated and to bring increased potentials and light into the world. These connections defy 3D logic. They do. Geographic space, distance, and age gaps are a huge one on this journey. Religion, even, beliefs, ways of showing up in the world, thinking of certain things. The core is still the same with your twin, even if you work on things from opposite sides of the spectrum like science and religion. These are masculine, feminine polarities that harmonize and bridge. They bridge huge discrepancies because the souls are the same. I'm just kyanite bridge energy here, bringing it in. Oh. I got a sliver from that. So yes, I put my finger on it. The bridge little sliver got in there. But this kyanite, seriously, we are, I even heard intergalactic bridges on the quantum, that means they're telling me. So yes, absolutely beautiful. As we do this work, it's like we're stitching the spirit into the physical, and it is doing so many things. I'm also hearing so many times, I haven't spit this out in this reading, but this is also what is the fountain of youth. This is going to be causing people to reverse age. This is the balancing out that extends life expectancy. This kind of life affirming love focus extends life expectancy. There is a massive flowering. What I'm being shown right now is a lot of the age gaps that when we move into hundreds of years of life expectancy again, a difference of 10 to 20 years is going to look so minute in the span of a whole hundreds of years partnership. Let that sink in, how irrelevant a age gap of even 25, 30 years could be when life expectancy becomes hundreds of years. 22 just now. Let that be decreed, that the age gap is coming in as an option and non-issue because life expectancy is ramping up. Okay, well, I have not actually tackled that one before, but there you go. Okay, so let's see how these energies are playing out strictly in the connection right now with the conscious mind of the divine masculines. So what did we see? We saw mostly the loyalty to what they are loving and their truth. So divine masculines, through the lens of knowing that your divine counterpart is also releasing the prejudices that would hold you apart, because absence makes the heart grow fonder. And as you are working on the things firsthand that you used to think were the deal breakers, look at that, surrendering to the love and the union here. Your counterpart is also understanding that the connection that they have felt with you is like no other, and that they don't have to buy into the things that would say somehow they're at fault or unworthy because of the excuses in the 3D. Oh my goodness, what an incredible thing. Thank you, Divine Creator, for bringing through exactly what we need to see on the conscious mind of the divine masculines, and where that is flowing in the connection. And then I'm also going to get a little bit of advice for the divine feminines watching. Okay, 2, 3. Oh, and if you want information on the newest crystal dig, please ask for my email down below. There's a couple spots that haven't been confirmed yet. Okay, divine masculines, conscious mind, seeker of orbs, and the tower. As they open up to the fact that this love just won't, it's relentless. It just won't release. They are feeling it as intensely as you are, divine feminines, in different ways. And because they're now becoming curious, there is no 3D foundation that cannot be overcome. That is truly the overcoming all obstacles. So divine masculines, you're curious about how these solutions can come in, or how you can look at it differently. So if you're still with me in this reading, do that re-scripting the movie and come into that hero role that would proclaim this love to those around in your set and setting, and ask the divine to show you what the resounding, triumphant, higher reception of this love would be, rather than the fear-based expectation that the people around you would have. Actually, you know, when we can see what someone could look at it as, we can forgive them for being at a lower vibrational response, if that is what happens. That's on them, not you then, divine masculines. That's the kind of miracle working divine feminines that your masculine has on the divine, or on the mind space here, because of these divine loves. And so there is no obstacle that can't be overcome. Exactly. Which obstacle? Separation. So there is some bridge that divine masculines have felt was insurmountable, and that is being overcome right now. Potential divine feminines. So just understand that the divine masculines, with this in the inverse, they are looking at the potentials here in a brand new cosmic way, with the Milky Way there. So yeah, they haven't seen it from this higher perspective yet, and they won't be able to put this love down until they do. And that's when they will come forward, because they'll see that there is a true potential here, that it has not actually had a real limitation, that it's only been covering up their own fear to be hurt or not here. Okay, and as they continue to heal that deep hurt, there is no obstacle. None. What is it on the heart space that the divine masculines are feeling? Ooh, they are hanging on to the connection, and they're waiting to see if this ignition of the passion, the physical, they're feeling this growing desire to make love, to be with you in the physical, to engage with you that way. Mission is starting here. There is such a I don't want to say romantic, but a personal pull. They know that it's been in a stored up sort of way, like squirrels. They squirrel things away. They feel like the stash is, they're going to dip into that stash of all the things that you've shared, the experiences, the confirmations of the love. As they revisit those things, as they dig those nourishing bits out, it feels as though the confirmation of this on the heart space is igniting again. It's like gratitude that's coming in. What can we see for, okay, non-action, divine feminines? This is, you don't have to take any action here. This is just continuing to temper your own urges to fix it, to do it for them, to compensate, and just trust. This is trust like you've never trusted before, that your divine counterpart is capable of working out these issues within, and being honest about the fact that this passion won't die. It's like no other. It's going in that direction. Yeah, there's a little bit more. I'm just going to reference, there's the letters B and J on here, and I'm feeling resistance to that. Take it how it resonates. That might be a sign for somebody. And new beginnings on the horizon. This is in the reverse. So yeah, divine feminines, just know that the ignition for the new beginnings is taking root sight unseen right now, as the masculines do overcome these external influences, or the perceived external influences, because it really is them having this protected shell around their own heart, their heart walls. And divine masculines, I want to say again, those heart walls are not your fault. You were handed that in this lifetime. It's generational. It is the corrupt templates on the planet that keep people in segregation. It's a really powerful thing that's happening. The divine masculines are pushing through, and that's how the divine masculines also clear karma of the ages, I'm just hearing. What is the desire for the masculines? Queen of Crystals and Spirit of Cups. This is to open up about how the karmic situations have not been satisfying, how they can't find you otherwhere or in other places, anywhere else, divine feminines. They have been seeking for anything that would fit the templates that their friends and families and situations and, you know, circumstances would be able to accommodate according to their paradigms. They can't find that. They can't make it fit. Divine feminines, they want to open up about this, but they're still coming to terms with that. So divine masculines, it's not in your head. If you're watching this reading, divine masculines, you're not going to make those karmic things fit into the agendas of the people around you, the fear paradigms. This love relationship is not going to go away until you understand that your divine counterpart is better than those things. That's why you can't find them anywhere else. Unconditional love, exactly. This is where love wins. What love wins the lifetime. I just heard. So divine masculines, divine feminines, this is unconditional love coming through and grounding. This is the crux of it. It needs to get to this contrast between 3D paradigms and the cosmic in order for it to be validated and chosen through unconditional love and free will. It has to be seen as more of a cosmic shift rather than a personalized, you know, pitting two people against each other. It's a paradigm shift. It's not a competition between individuals and thriving. Yes, it makes a difference between good on paper and thriving, everybody. So this is divine feminines. Just keep knowing and anchoring that knowing that your connection represents something that the world has never seen. It's a true thriving template, and keep going for it, you know, whether it's with this person that you believe to be your divine counterpart or someone new. It's the templates that we are rewriting, and so, you know, flow through it. Your heart knows when it's time to actually release and invite someone else in. When you get to a place of wanting to be receptive to love, where even the twin flame name doesn't bind you and you just truly want love in your life, you might magnetize somebody else in that's your actual twin flame, you know, that will come in and be that thriving template, because it's those templates that we're going for that releases the people we think are the players in it. So come into a place of safety where it can either be this person that you believe is your divine counterpart or someone else, you know, and that allows the person to come back in as a brand new version of themselves if it's going to be that person, or for someone else to surpass what you had. Believe that key thing, that whatever is in store for you, because you're up leveling, divine feminines, that will be better than you've had even with this divine counterpart. As crazy as that is, it will be better because whoever comes in for you will be giving into the connection and reciprocating fully. So yes, you are on track for love, divine feminines. What is the action the divine masculines are taking? They're freeing their mind and really looking at what garners reciprocity. They're looking at what actually is worth giving to. And you are it, divine feminines, and that's taking this pain out of it, because at the end of the day, where that true nurture, true connection lays, if we say no to that, that's the regret on the deathbed. It's not the other things. So divine masculines, yeah, they're really taking this action to get real with themselves and say, I'm not going to find somebody that actually loves me that purely, that well, that beautifully anywhere else. And nothing anybody says or any fears about what others would think or do regarding our situation compare to the fact that I found a heart of gold. Now I'm hearing Neil Young, Heart of Gold. What can we see for the feminines? Purification, yeah. All of that expectation, all of that junk that the divine masculines have been holding on to, that's been tearing their heart in two directions, is being purified. So let the tears flow, Divine Feminines, you might feel it welling up and tears might come out of nowhere, and you might be thinking of your person, or other people that have been fearful in love might be coming to mind. And that's to be cleared. Don't worry if you have spontaneous tears, Divine Feminines. I actually had a 5-minute cry yesterday while speaking out someone's name, and I allowed it fully to be there, and for it to just sort of off gas off the top of the connection, just sending love and sobbing and just, you know, cheering for all of us going towards love wherever love truly lays. It's a beautiful raw thing that humanity is focusing on right now. So let the tears flow. If you're picking up on that stuff, give everybody permission to just fully be alive, fully be themselves, fully love. Oh, it's so good. Okay, what is the biggest challenge for the masculines? This King of Wands Divine Masculine walking through the confusion and emerging when the dust settles, walking out empowered in their own right, as overcoming lust, as overcoming the expectations of what they think the world expects of them. This is the leader walking in their own right as a spiritual master through the rubble. Anything is possible. The Magician, this empowered yellow, the grounding, the red, grounding this otherworldly connection into the physical, because it is possible. It's only our own mental constructs that say that it's in a negative way. And so these, in some ways, these connections have challenged the most ingrained strongholds of belief about relationships. Profoundly, because it's only a love this pure that can make somebody rethink all those held beliefs so deeply. God, this reading is a good one, everybody. Okay, and wonders. Yes, Divine Feminines, miracles can happen when two people are no longer limited by the binding of the world. Anything is possible in love. Divine Masculines are starting to realize that. What can we see for the solution? Freeing the anxiety, healing, letting go of the past, grieving the old versions of selves that had certain expectations of lack and competition and uncertainty and fear and pain. All the stages of grief are here. So Divine Masculines have been prematurely grieving the loss and the end of these connections I just heard. You've been in a perpetual state of mourning since you met the Divine Feminine. Divine Masculines, you've been fearing the end of the connection ever since you met your divine counterpart, and that has clouded your vision. Wow, that's huge. So Divine Masculines, take heed. Look at your soul, look at your heart about this connection, and see that you have been shutting this down and fearing that it would be over right from the get-go. This is time to actually tell yourself that's not going to happen, and that you are safe, and that true eternal love doesn't end. You won't find the edges or the end of this. It won't be taken from you. You won't be harmed by it. Learn to see what love actually is, and you will see that it never goes away. It's been an illusion. Oh my goodness. Confusion here. This is the Seven of Orbs again. So the challenge is stepping forward as the divine counterpart, as the empowered Divine Masculine, and the solution is to really tell yourself the facts and to see that here's your divine counterpart shrouded here while you've been trying to create 3D stability, 3D safety, the temptation of buying into what others would think or what you think they would think, even worse. And there's your Divine Feminine through all of it, always remaining the same in that frequency of undying love, eternal love, glowing, obvious. And yes, you have known that. You've known that your divine counterpart has exemplified that love through thick and thin, no matter what. So Divine Masculines, be real with yourself about that. What can we see for advice for the feminines? Openness, just be open, Divine Feminines. And that is the mantra. We saw a few years ago that it was, this is what mastery looks like unfolding. Then we moved into, I'm ready for what is for me. And now it's this stay open, because we're catching stride with the safety of that Divine Feminine. So just keep allowing everything that's meant to be coming into your life to show up. Stay open to it all, including your Divine Masculine having these triumphant fear-busting motions, shifting the paradigms of the 3D, really opening up into unconditional bravery and love going forward, affirming that your connection is the real deal. What is the direction these things are going in? Anchoring this love through strength, the higher love grounding. Amazing. And commitment emerging, what true commitment is. Not the on paper, not the pretense, but authentic, overcoming the ego, strength here, and conquering this bullheadedness, the stubborn resistance, the rebellion against love on the planet is falling. The rebellion against love on the planet is falling. Huh? What do we need to know? Healing chaos. These connections have come in like a storm across the planet, like a tornado in the lives of all the twins. It's been chaos, and it is to radically, in a lifetime, circumnavigate the rebellion against love on the planet. What? Bye for now.